Hey guys, I'm Rogut and this is my rant. Welcome back to Money Topic, episode 3, called Betting Against the Dollar, and I'll tell you why. So, we believe in the diversity of thought here. If you like content like this, I encourage you to hit that subscribe button and, hit that little bell next to it. Maybe it will work, maybe it won't. Alright, so getting into the topic today. So, I wanted to discuss about paper currency versus precious metals and, other things that you can do to better ensure your financial stability in the future moving forward. And what I'm going to talk about is just how our currency has just been devalued so much that the dollar, it doesn't really buy a lot anymore. You can't really buy a lot with just $1 anymore. And I know there is inflation. I know that, the mainstream media and the Federal Reserve and whoever else that you guys like to, well, not you guys, but whoever people want to listen to, they keep saying, oh, inflation is 2%, it's 2%, oh, it's 2%. But, yes, it could be perceived as 2%, but people's wages aren't increasing at the same rate as inflation. And with the Fed constantly doing more quantitative easing projects and overnight bank repossession runs and stuff like that. There's a lot going on behind the scenes with the Federal Reserve, the stock market, that you just need to be aware of. All these all-time highs that everyone's just like, oh, the party will never end. Well, a lot of stocks in the stock market are overvalued, and, they're a select few group of aristocrats, they're making out like bandits. But what I like to do is I diversify. I have some cash. Obviously, I use my debit card and my credit card. Very rarely, I've done it before, but in terms of my credit card, you do get good cash back options and stuff like that. That's basically their way of enticing you. It's like, oh, low interest, you only have to pay the minimum payment. But that's how people get into debt. And when people get into debt, that's not good. And, a lot of Americans, especially ones that are barely getting by or they're living paycheck to paycheck, they might not have been taught good financial, intelligence when they were growing up from either their parents or obviously the school system has failed a lot of people and stuff like that in terms of that respect. So it's not all of their fault. It's not all of Americans' fault. It's just that you got to know where it's going. What money actually is. Now, what I wanted to show you was this is a 1 ounce silver coin. And now why am I showing you this is because before Nixon was president, before he became president, 1970 or 71 or something like that, he took us off the gold standard so we could print unlimited amounts of money. We could just keep printing, and the party's never going to end, right? Well, there's a problem with that. The currency gets devalued, and all around the world. There's a lot of sick fiat paper currencies. Our fiat paper currency is just the least sickest kid in the group. So the thing is, our gold supply, the amount of precious metals that the U.S. government had, or if the Federal Reserve was around at that time, their supply of that metal limited to how much money they could print, because our paper currency, it was backed by precious metals, and now it's backed by nothing. And that's not good. And that's just the thing. I believe it's very important to have silver, if you can afford it, great. Get some gold as well. Copper is also another useful commodity, copper and brass. I don't hear a lot of people talking about platinum, but I know it's like another valuable metal that you could look into. And yeah, so today I just went to the bank and I got a roll of nickels for $2, and then I found 3 nickels in there. I found 3 nickels. They're right there. Not this one. This is kind of like a Buffalo 2005 collector one that I saw. But those 3 nickels right there, one is a 39, one's a 49, and the other one is a 63. That top one's a 63. And, like I said before, all coins minted before 64 and before have 90% silver in them. So they have some value and stuff like that. Because, if you just go to a grocery store and then you figure out how much this can buy you, not literally this, but this paper money, things just go up and up and up, and sometimes it feels like inflation, feels more like 7 or 8%. And just the other day, I was in a pharmacy, I was buying a roll of tape. It was $4.50. I was like, $4.50 for that roll of tape? Sometimes you don't even realize it because you just pay for things for, you know, what they cost. There's no bartering. But, you know, with junk silver, there can be some bartering and stuff like that. So, the thing is, when I say I'm betting against the dollar, is that this is being devalued more and more and more every single day, and they just keep printing it like there's no tomorrow, and it's, you know, it's because we don't want to see hyperinflation like what happened to Germany after World War I. They were using stacks of cash for building blocks, and they were using cash for wallpaper. I'm not saying that would happen, but you know, there's a lot going on behind the scenes that you don't know. The Federal Reserve is mostly owned by foreign interests, and it's designed to basically keep the global economy afloat. And you know, we don't make a lot of things anymore. Our manufacturing sector is like next to nothing at this point. And it's just important because everyone's riding the waves of this like all-time high stock market. It's all so awesome. Yeah. But what happens after market hits an all-time high? It falls off a cliff. And I believe that, you know, a recession is coming, but I believe it will happen before 2023. It's just a prediction. Also a lot of speculation because no one really knows who really knows when or if it's going to happen and stuff like that. It's fun to think about. But it's good to protect your financial well-being with precious metals because they continue to hold their value. Very important. The other day, a few days in a row, silver jumped like a good amount, like 20 cents here, 30 cents there, and then it got back to the $18 threshold, which is really cool. But then it just got knocked down like another 20 cents and stuff like that.
My dog was making a noise.
And yeah, so it's I just think it's, you know, the more you have physically or is a lot better than just a bunch of zeros in your bank account. You know, do you trust all of your big banks if you're not in a credit union or you don't have an emergency fund put away? Do you trust the big banks to keep your metals safe with a safety deposit box? No, I don't. And there's already being bank runs throughout the world, parts of the Middle East, parts of Asia. And you know that just because it happens there doesn't mean it can't happen here. Like if you couldn't have access to your digital money, then what are you gonna do? Are you gonna have cash stacked away? Are you gonna have metal stacked away? What about food and water? These are all things that just in case you're just preparing for the unexpected, and that's why I'm betting against the dollar because it is the least sickest kid in the hospital. Okay. Well, I appreciate your time. Thanks for watching this video. I want you to like the video if you didn't like it already. But if you didn't like it, I encourage you to smash that dislike button. It gives me a chance to improve my work, make better videos. If you didn't like my face, if you didn't like money, if you didn't like the dollar bill that I was holding up, that's fine. You can hit the dislike button. And yeah, sound off in the comments. Tell me what you think, and looking forward to making the next video. Alright, guys. Have a good one.